Hi, I'm Ems, aka on Deck and Wings. I 3D printed these Tyranid looking bases. These are part of this cool and much larger set, which is like an imperial city that's been terraformed by the Tyranids. There's some very cool looking bases and some larger pieces of terrain as well. I'll put the link in the description below where you can purchase the files. This isn't by any means a new set of files, it's just something I stumbled upon and I thought it looked really cool. So I decided to prime the bases in all white, and then I'm moving on with the first colour, which is Screamer Pink. I thinned this down to a wash consistency, so you could add some Lamian medium if you wanted to, or you could add a glazing medium which is very similar. So I'm washing this over and applying it to the carapace looking area that's jutting out. So what are you excited for 10th edition 40k? Will you be getting some Tyranids yourself? I think these bases would also look cool on some Space Marines. So after this I grabbed some black paint. I don't really like Abaddon black paint from Games Workshop, I don't think it covers very well, so just any generic black paint which you like, and just put these on the spiky claw looking areas. I love how much 3D printing has come along in the past few years. The stuff you can make now is so cool. So I started my Warhammer 40k journey back when 3rd edition was a thing, and I got really into 4th edition though. For the textured areas of the bases, the largest part, I am using this colour, so this Morghast bone. But if you have a similar bone colour like a Ushanti bone or whatever, or a Xandri dust, that would work fine too if you're following along. There are some like rocks or ruins on one of the bases, so I'm just using some Dawnstone, which is a grey colour on them. Now that the black spiky areas have dried, I'm going back over them with a burgundy colour, so a deep purple would work great here. To my knowledge, I think the official colour would be like a Sirius purple, or however you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I'm using a small brush here. I'm using the edge of the brush to just catch the raised areas, making sure to keep that black in the recesses. So what edition of 40k did you start with, or Warhammer Fantasy Battles, or even ASO? What drew you to the hobby, which editions? Let me know in the comments. I personally started with 6th edition Fantasy Battles. Here I'm using some of that deep purple, and I'm just adding it to some of the darkest areas. After the bone colour is dried on the base, I'm going back in with an Agrax wash. I do have to say my fondest memories though are of 4th edition 40k. There were some brilliant supplement releases around that time, like the Cities of Death, which was awesome. You had these really built up urban areas with this very grimdark terrain. Got these gothic ruin sets, which was so cool. I still have some of those. After that last coat of purple's dried, I'm using a Cacophony purple. More accurate colour would be a Genestealer purple. So I'm going back over the edges again, and I'm just pushing the colours, the highlights. I personally think 4th edition is when 40k got really grimdark on the tabletop. As I said, they started to bring out these ruined tabletop sets. The lore for 40k has always been very grimdark and nightmare fuel. 4th edition I think is when the tabletop and the miniatures started to get more grimdark and reflect the lore better. Up until that point it was mainly rolled out green felt on a tabletop, which felt a bit cheesy, but obviously some of you are probably nostalgic for those days. Grabbing some ivory here from Pro Acrylics, but you could use something like a Screaming Skulls, so an off-white bone colour, very light colour, and I'm just tidying up the carapace areas here. 4th edition is also when you start to see the Apocalypse game come into fruition. You had these huge tabletop battles with titans and everything. It was a really exciting time to start playing properly. So off camera, I painted the rims in black, And then I mixed ivory with that cacophony purple to do some final little highlights, but you could use another lilac colour if you wanted to. So I'm calling the bases done here. I'm not too bothered about being overly neat, as I'm going to be batch painting quite a few with these. As always, thank you for watching. Remember to enjoy your hobbies for yourself, respect that people enjoy them in their own ways, and at the end of the day, they're just war dollies. I will see you in the next one.